Next year, work is scheduled to begin on the island of St. John's first major multi-purpose community space. The Virgin Islands Port Authority announced plans to develop just over 2 acres of its land to construct a park which will serve both as a place for large gatherings and as a hub for community and recreational activities.
What we did, we met with the residents. We're looking to where they keep the carnival village now is really outlived its size, and so we want to do a park, and an entertainment area, that kind of stuff. Probably have a couple of restaurants only. Just develop an entire venue. There's no place really in St. John for a whole large crowd to congregate, gather for like festival, what have you.
So this will be a first.
Yeah, well, in terms of what we're looking to do, develop a true park, a park in a true sense, where you could hold a large event, the carnival, the festival could be held there. People could go to the park, exercise, just spend time. And we expect to have an area that, for example, if you want to bring in a jazz band or, just community activities, arts and culture, where people could sell their art, their culture, their wares, whatever, that kind of thing we're trying to do there.
VIPA held a town hall meeting on the matter earlier this month. The robust attendance and lively discourse at that meeting, Dow said, was indicative of the interest St. Johnians have in the project.
A lot of people came out, a couple hundred, over 100 and some odd people. St. John is small, so quite a few people came out and, had the opportunity to share the views. But I think the big takeaway from that meeting was we impressed upon them, which they started, to have create an organization there in St. John of the community residents who would then give us some of their ideas and suggestions. So it could be a full community type project with the involvement of the people of St. John. Small, so it's anything you do in St. John, from the time you step off the boat, it's like almost stepping into residential folks. So one of the concerns was the noise. The concern was making sure that we have some kind of historical perspective on whatever we do, keeping that that area as culturally aesthetic as we can, making sure that there are room for local vendors and this kind of thing. It's always that's always part of every discussion. But yeah, that was primarily it. And I think the big thing is that they wanted to be involved in all aspects. And again, one of the bigger takeaways that we forced them to kind of organize themselves. And I have staff, people who will probably maybe every quarter, it depends, but we will in fact continue the dialogue and the communication and have that my staff at the Port Authority will be in fact working with their organization to make sure that we trying to get as much from the community as we possibly can in terms of what we're designing.
Funding for the project will come from the St. John Capital Improvement Fund. According to Dow, $1.5 million is set aside every year for projects on the island, but it has never really been tapped to this extent until Senator Donna Fred Gregory brought forth the idea to the legislature. Money for ongoing maintenance of the facility will also come in whole or in part from the fund. Work on the project is scheduled to begin in late 2023 and will take up to 2 years to complete. The 34th Legislature, via Act 8473, has already appropriated $400,000 from the St. John Capital Improvement Fund for the design phase of the project, which will be undertaken by Moffat & Nicole, an international design and engineering consultancy firm.